My dear brothers and sisters, today we will journey back to the earliest days of humanity, the days when the earth was a home to only a single house. At this time, the earth was a home to all sorts of animals, birds and trees. The nature was untouched by any human, pure, immaculate, but yet deadly. There were many different sounds on the earth, but the human voices were only two, that is, of Ādam alayhi salam and Hawwa radiyallahu anhu. They fought through many struggles together to survive all types of weather conditions, wild and hunger. And then Allah guided them to bear children and have a family. Hawwa radiyallahu anhu became pregnant many times throughout her life. Gradually, the bond of two people created by Allah's own hands multiplied to become a full family. Now, the earth comprised of only one family, only one household. Everything that this family had on this vast planet was the companionship of each other. No other friends, no relatives, no society. Are you ready to time travel to this beautiful, unmatched era of the family of Ādam alayhi salam? Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. You're watching Quran for Living, and in this video you will learn not just about the story of the two brothers, Habil and Qabil, but it is a story of the very first sacrifice, the very first murder and the very first tears shed by the parents for the loss of their child. When Hawwa radiyallahu anhu gave birth for the first time, Allah blessed them with twins. They were Qabil and his twin sister Iklima. After a couple of years, she gave birth again to another pair of twins, this time Habil and his twin sister Lubuda. When they would grow up, Qabil would become a farmer and Habil, the younger one, would become a shepherd. All the children lived under the guidance of their father. As kids, they were bonded with brotherhood and innocence. But as they grew, inside their hearts began to develop a huge difference. Habil was humble, sincere and devoted to Allah. On the other hand, Qabil was arrogant, jealous and often consumed by anger. Time passed and they grew up into young adults. At this point, Allah passed a command for their marriage. But whom would they marry? There was no other family from which they could get a bride and a groom for themselves. It's simple. In order for the family to grow and multiply, they had to marry within the family. In fact, within the very DNA chain. Allah commanded Ādam alayhi salam to marry Habil to Iklima, the twin sister of Qabil, and marry Qabil to Lubuda, the twin sister of Habil. It is said that Qabil's twin sister Iklima was more beautiful than Habil's twin sister Lubuda. When Ādam alayhi salam announced this decision to his sons and daughters, Qabil immediately created a rift over this decision. So when the command came from Allah about the arrangement of their marriage, Habil bowed down his head in acceptance. He said, "O Father, I will do as Allah wishes." He trusted the wisdom of his Creator and submitted to Allah. On the other hand, Qabil's heart was filled with fire. He refused, saying, "She is more beautiful. Why should I give her to my brother? I deserve her more than he does." Ādam alayhi salam was stern with his decision based on Allah's command. He said, "My son Qabil, this path will lead you to destruction. Don't do anything that displeases Allah. Indeed, this marriage is a command from Allah." But Qabil's ears were already clogged with the shaitan's whispers. He was so adamant on marrying his own twin sister that he went against Allah and his father. As the situation got worse, Ādam alayhi salam raised his hands to Allah and said, "Ya Rabb, now you decide." Thus, guided by Allah, Adam alayhi salam commanded his sons to present a sacrifice before Allah. The one whose offering was accepted will be proven right and his desire of marriage will be accepted. Habil, with a sincere heart and a pure smile, said, I accept, my father. Qabil, with anger and ego, said, I too accept. Habil the shepherd was not very rich. He had only a couple of sheep. He looked at all his sheep. His eye was fixed on the best ram, a healthy, strong and a fat one. He looked at the sky and said, Ya Allah, you only deserve the best. He brought forth his best ram to sacrifice for the sake of Allah. On the other hand, Qabil the farmer looked at all his crops and harvests. He looked at the fresh, golden and fully ripe crops, but his heart was filled with grudge. He said, No, not these. Then he looked at the rotten, dry and thrashed crops. He chose the worst of his harvest and leftovers for Allah. Astaghfirullah. They both placed their offerings on a hilltop, waiting for Allah to accept their offerings. Then, by Allah's will, a fire descended from the heavens and consumed the offering of Habil. The healthy ram was accepted by Allah. It is said that this was the same ram which was then placed instead of Ismail alayhi salam when Ibrahim alayhi salam was sacrificing his son for the sake of Allah. But Qabil's sacrifice remained untouched, laying over there as it is, rejected by Allah, the Rabbul Alameen. Now, this ignited Qabil's anger even more. His face turned red and his eyes were filled with rage and hatred. His emotions blazed within him like fire. Shaitan had overtaken his heart. He looked at his brother with hatred and said in his mind, I will surely kill him. He began to plan a brutal murder when everyone were asleep that night. The next day, he took Habil far away from their home. Habil was grazing his sheep and was unaware of the ill intentions of his brother. Qabil said in a cunning tone, Allah accepted your sacrifice and rejected mine, and Allah wants you to marry my twin sister who is more beautiful. This is totally unfair. Habil said, My brother, I only offered the best of what I had to the creator of this entire universe. Allah accepts only from those who truly believe, so don't blame me and seek forgiveness from Allah. His words enraged Qabil even more. Habil was extremely calm and unafraid of the intentions of Qabil. His faith in Allah was sufficient for him. Qabil said in a gruesome voice, I will kill you. But Habil, calm and steadfast, replied, If you raise your hand to strike me, I will not raise mine against you. I fear Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Surely Allah accepts only from the righteous. Qabil then committed an act that would stain the human history forever. He struck his own brother and Habil's lifeless body fell to the ground. Qabil stood over the body of Habil with his hands and legs trembling. He had never seen death before. His hands were stained with human blood, but his heart still boiling with anger, now also mixed with fear. He left his brother's body and went back home. Ādam alayhi salam asked Qabil, Where is your brother? He went with you, didn't he? Qabil pretended to have no idea about where Habil was. He replied to his father with arrogance, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? The next day, Qabil went back to the place where he left his brother's body laying on the ground. Qabil did not know what to do with the body. Days passed, and he carried his brother's corpse, unsure and ashamed, from one place to another. But after a few days, the body of Habil began to secrete a stench. Qabil was confused on what to do with Habil's body. He thought, how long would I have to hide it like this? Allah then sent him a sign as a mercy for Habil to be respectfully placed within the earth. Then came a crow scratching the earth, burying another dead crow beneath the soil. Qabil cried out, "Woe to me! Am I so helpless that I cannot even do what this crow has done and hide the body of my brother?" And so he buried Habil in the ground. His heart was filled with regret, but his regret was not repentance. His heart remained darkened. His soul was firmly chained to sin. It is said that Qabil fled with his twin sister to another part of the land, only to form his family and a tribe that was corrupt and breeded on haram ways of living. Eventually, Adam alayhi salam learned what had happened. Both Adam alayhi salam and Hawwa radiyallahu anhu were shattered. They never before had seen a death, let alone the death of their own innocent child, and that too a murder. Adam alayhi salam wept bitterly, his tears soaking the earth. Night after night, day after day, Adam alayhi salam mourned not only the death of Habil, but the tragedy that his own son Qabil had fallen into the traps of Shaitan. For Adam alayhi salam, it was as though he had lost two sons at once, one to death and the other to sin. And what about Hawwa radiyallahu anhu, the first mother of a human child? Imagine her grief to see the lifeless body of her child, to realize that one son has gone forever and the other had destroyed himself with arrogance and bloodshed. Her heart broke in ways that words cannot capture. She cried and held the earth that covered Habil, whispering prayers to Allah for mercy. It was the first time in the human history that parents experienced the loss of a child, a pain so deep that generations of parents would one day know and relate to. For many years, Adam alayhi salam and Hawwa radiyallahu anhu lived in sorrow. They would look at the sky, remembering their son. They would pray, weep, and ask Allah for mercy. Narrations tell us that Adam alayhi salam wept for hundreds of years over the loss of Habil. His grief was immense, but within it was also patience, for he knew that Allah's decree is filled with wisdom. Then, in their old age, in fact, let us say the old age in the enormous lifespan of nearly 1,000 years, Allah gave them a gift, a son named Sheeth, in Arabic, Hibatullah, meaning the gift of Allah. Through Sheeth alayhi salam, the line of prophets would continue. He was pure, righteous, and chosen by Allah to carry the light of guidance after Adam alayhi salam. For Adam alayhi salam and Hawwa radiyallahu anhu, the birth of Sheeth alayhi salam was a mercy, a sign that even in the face of tragedy, Allah restores hope. This story, dear brothers and sisters, is not just about two sons of Adam alayhi salam. It's a mirror for all of us. Habil teaches us sincerity, patience, and taqwa. Qabil, on the other hand, warns us of jealousy, arrogance, and destruction it causes. Adam alayhi salam and Hawwa radiyallahu anhu show us the reality of grief, but also the power of patience and hope that Allah grants after hardship. Allah sealed this story with a universal law in the Quran. Whoever kills an innocent soul, it is as if he has killed all of the mankind. And whoever saves a soul, it is as if he has saved all of the mankind. Surah al-Mā'idah, Ayah 32. Jazakallah khair, my dear brothers and sisters, for watching this video till the end. Stay tuned for the story of Sheeth alayhi salam, which we will learn in the next video, inshallah.